to... I did no crocheting yesterday after I finished the outline on the back panel of the cardigan. Played video games. Just chilled, really. And last night, as I was going to bed and falling asleep, I had a thought. And that thought was, maybe if you start the Derpy pattern with the smaller pieces, like the feet or the ears, you might be more motivated to make the big body part. And this has worked, I will tell you, and I'm going to show you why it's worked. I'm not even done with the first foot yet. It's the size of my head. I got the bead on there, you know? It's like... It's so big. Oh my god, he's gonna be huge. Okay, I can fit my hand inside. I tried to put my foot in here. It's a little small for that, but now I want to make Derpy slippers too. But like, this is the size of my hand. Oh, it's gonna be just enormous. And yeah, now I'm really motivated to try and do this. So we'll see how this goes. I'm not okay. I still have 2 more rows to add to the length of this leg. This is the front leg, by the way. And I can show you. Oh, come here, buddy. If we all remember Chunk here. So this is what I'm making. Okay. So, yeah. That's... I am mad with power. I cannot say that I am in any more of a stable mental state than I was in the last clip. We have 1 foot. Get big in there. We have 2 feet. And then we have 2 big ass drumsticks for back legs. And I have started the head. Hello. I am mad with power. And like, for reference again, this is the size 4 yarn, like this is Red Heart Retro Stripe. That's what this yarn is. This is your basic acrylic yarn. This is the Walmart brand Mainstays Chunky Chenille size 6 super bulky yarn. Like, I can stuff the head, and I'm not even done with the head, with the like finished version of the 4-1. So yeah, he's gonna be big, and I knew he was gonna be big. It's gonna be which brings me to perhaps the one damper on my manic glee that's happening right now. I only have 3 more skeins of the blue, and it's not gonna be enough. It's definitely not gonna be enough for his tail, which, you know, we need to do. So I will have to get more yarn, but this is the hook of choice, and I don't know if that's going to show up. Cover my face, come on. Cover my face and focus. There we go. It's a 20 millimeter. My hand hurts. Part of why I'm filming this clip / update. because I just need to take a break and put the hook down. But for this one, and for the feet actually too, I do have like some regular 4-weight yarn, and that's just because these start with magic rings, because it's the way I wrote the pattern, because it's not an issue with 4-weight yarn. But on this yarn, if you pull the chenille yarn, I'll just show you. Useless. So with the black, because it's black, I just double stranded it. And then these two so big. I think I might go through with the white yarn and like sew down the paw pad so that it's nice and shaped. But we'll see. We'll see. That is a future problem because this is all the white I have left, which looks like a decent amount. But what I need it for is his ears, because these are just circles, like magic ring circles. And then I have, if you start a magic ring and you work 6 stitches into it, when you do the next round, you work 6 increases. So for the ears, I believe, let me check my pattern here. For the ears, of those 6 increases, 2 of them are in the white color instead of the body color. So it just makes a nice little chunk. And then you fold it in half, and it's an ear. I mean, same concept here. Like, I sewed on the beans, which is why they kind of look a little curved. This is the first one I did. Not the best beans. Let me show you the best beans. They're on here. So, same concept here. So the beans are sewn on. But this is a magic ring of 6 in black. And then you do 1 increase in black, 3 increases in white, an increase in black, and an increase in white. And it kind of makes a little paw shape. Little paw shape. I mean, it's not perfect, but his feet is fuzzy. That's why they're not perfect. It's because they're fuzzy. But yeah, these little drumsticks kill me too. They're so cute. And with the way my pattern is, like, these aren't stuffed very well because this kind of gets squished and sewn onto the body, because like this part of this is also only half stuffed. And I will say I have absolutely decimated my yarn scraps bucket because the ankles on these guys are all stuffed with the yarn scraps because they're more solid than the polyfill. But that's the update so far. I am going to use the rest of this yarn. Probably, it's 4:30, let's be real. I should take a break and stop it. I'm not gonna. I'm gonna use up all the yarn I have left today. And then we will see. I am doing this as a way to take a mental break from doing the tapestry crochet butterfly cardigan, because my brain does not like doing the same thing over and over and over again, which is also why my second project, that is the skull granny squares, and I'd grab them, but I can't right now. That's why that's not done, because I have ADHD and I don't like doing the same thing over and over again. But I have autism, so I do like doing the same thing over and over again, but not the same thing. Make sense? No? Me either. I digress. I will see you when I know what the next step is. All right, it is Monday, November 25th, and I have a progress update on the butterfly cardigan. We now have one front panel. So far, when I put it on, the length is good as far as the arms are considered. And like, not the best place to stretch out, but the length is good. The length is actually better than I was expecting, which is nice. I still might add, I think, a couple rows to each of these, but I want to finish the other front panel and actually have a whole piece on before I make that decision. This is what's left of the value pound plus of Ivory. I haven't even gotten close to finishing this. And I have 2 full skeins, 1 skein that's at like 2/3, and then these left of the variegated yarn. So I'm gonna have like 2 full skeins of that yarn left, and I don't know what I'm gonna do. I do think that I'm considering rather that when I do the cuffs and ribbing, I might do it in the light purple. Just think that might be fun. So here's that. And then I had a video call with a friend, and I showed her this. And she was like, I love that. I want one. Do you want to do an art trade? And I'm like, yeah, absolutely. Because she does beadwork. Beautiful. Beautiful. And yes, absolutely. She's like, okay, let's agree to that as long as we're both okay with it not being until like late next year. And I'm like, there's no way. I want to make this again right now. I don't want to finish this right now, but we're gonna because we're close. So yeah, that is the update right now. I haven't gotten any further on Derpy because I haven't gotten any yarn for Derpy yet. That should happen Friday. Normally, I go grocery shopping on Thursdays, but I'm in America, and this Thursday is Thanksgiving, so I can't go shopping on Thursday. So Friday. I might have a slight problem, and that is I finished this, but we're at the clips, and that would be the last end, like the inside of the skein end of the Ivory, which might not be an issue. I haven't decided. I do have 2 other skeins of it. It's just I don't know. I have 2 small skeins, not the big value pound plus skeins, but 2 normal size skeins of the Ivory. I just don't know if the dye lots match. I haven't looked at that yet. But little button band on here, and this part like around wise fits great. I would like it to be just a smidge longer, which I mean I know I'll get a little bit by having it sewn and not clipped, but it's just I don't know, it's a little bit longer. So my dilemma, thought, question is, do I try the Ivory and hope it matches? Or I have like 2 whole skeins of this inside color left. Do I do like a stripe down the top and button and the button bands in that and cuffs because it needs cuffs because like oh well help that's help she needs cuffs so I have to ponder that, but like the one thing I couldn't do a whole lot about is how big around it is, and like I mean look at how much I can overlap, so that is a relief. Like I can completely like pretty much the whole width of my neck extra in here. Beautiful, great, fantastic. I just it looks so good, and like I love I've seen people do where they do like an extra outline in not the like base background color that they chose, and I don't hate the way it looks. I just don't know. I don't want that for me. But I kind of think it'd be fun to do the cuffs and the button band in something not Ivory. So do I strength. No. I have to think about it, but I still have to deal with all these ends first anyway. So we're gonna do that. Hello. All right. I have some updates. It's been, I think, 2 days since I talked to you. In the US, it was a holiday. I mean, not weekend because today is Saturday, but Thursday was Thanksgiving. So been doing stuff and just like crocheting in between doing stuff with my family. So first things first, this is done except for buttons, and I will try it on at a later point. I did not add any length to the sleeves because there's a good amount of stretch to them, and I think, you know, as I wear it, it's going to stretch out. So I just did cuffs. These are just, they're back loop only single crochet. I have completely converted, and I may not love it now, but I do like the way it looks, and it's not that annoying to do. I don't know what my issue was when I was originally doing it. I think my tension was just way too tight, but now I got it. We good. But I added cuffs. These are 10 high. These are 7 long for the button bands, and I do have holes. I have some buttons picked out that I have to order, but I haven't gotten that far yet. And I just did a single crochet around the neck, and then I also ended up doing a single crochet around the bottom in the soft purple. So that's that. And from that, I had 2 balls of yarn in the variegated color left, and then also a skein. So 1 ball and 1 skein was with the 1 dye lot, and then 1 ball was the other dye lot. So for starters, I took the dye lot I had more of, the purple and the ivory, and I made a basket. And it's super cute. So there's that. But I still had yarn left. I used up most of the purple and ivory, but I did have, I'm hoping, an equal amount left of each dye lot. And so I'm just double stranding a beanie because let me tell you, the temperature this morning in Southwest Florida, it is 54 degrees, which is bullshit. And I need a hat because my hair keeps coming off. I like cut it short, and then my mom and I just cut each other's hair because we started doing it during COVID. Just never stopped. And so she just like topped up the sides. And so I have no hair, and it's cold as shit. I need a hat. And I have hats, but I'm hoping I need 30 rows on this, and I have 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18. And that's what we're looking like for yarn left. So fingers crossed, you know. Those are my updates for you. I have 4 more skeins of the blue yarn, which I think will be enough to finish the body of Derpy, but I do not think I'll have enough to do the tail. I did realize I can start the tail though in black because the first like chunk of his tail is black, and I do have that one, roughly this much of that. So why not? Those are all of my updates for you. Alrighty, update time. I have 2 updates. First and foremost, I have successfully made a hat. This was just a panel, 35 stitches long, and I worked 32 rows. The pattern calls for 30. I'll link it below. It's back loop only, half double crochet. Super, there we go. Super comfy, super toasty. I could not get the top to cinch properly, so we covered that with a pom-pom because that is how you solve life problems. The pom-pom is the same purple ivory and like the very last of this that I used to make the basket I showed earlier. So there's that. And as I mentioned, they did not have enough yarn when I went to get the yarn to finish Derps. So this is what we have for the tail. And this is not even finished with row 14. And my pattern goes to row 24. And honestly, I'm going to make it longer than that. I just didn't want to when I was making the acrylic one and I wrote down all the numbers. Let me show you the boy. Ooh. So this is Derpy. He's enormous. Let me see if I can't adjust you here. Let's take a little turn this way, friends. So if I set him on his butt, he hits my belly button. I'm 5'4". I'm not very tall. He's large. He weighs an absolute metric ton. He does not stand up very well, though. It's my only thing with him. So, we're missing the tail. I do have eyes. I just haven't sewn them on yet. But, you see, if I can get him to stand. The only thing is I filled his head, I filled his head with my yarn scraps. So his head's a little heavy, so he tends to face plant. But, like, these are my knees. He is knee height. Yeah. This is my big guy. And then is a little friend. Perfect size. So that is my update on that. As far as the stripes and stuff, if I go through the effort to add them, and that's a big if at this point, I'm gonna paint them on. Not sorry. Those are my updates. I did a little, I'm gonna call it a little experiment, a little test, just of a simple, I have a blanket kit, and it is overlay mosaic crochet, and I've never done that before. And I opened the instructions and I looked at it and I went, nah, I'm not doing this right now. I would like to practice first. So I went to Ravelry and I found someone who has a pattern. It is just alphabet. And then because I cannot make things simple, I decided to make that more complicated by turning a 2-color mosaic into a 5-color mosaic by making the words into the colors of a pride flag. So I used the letters PRIDE to make pride. The other problem I had with this is my color selection. So the background color and white are far too close. It looks much better on camera than it does in person. I mean, it's still kind of, yeah, I think you can still see the problem, but I made a non-binary pride thing, and this was just so I could read the chart and make a thing and see the result and figure out what I was doing without having to count to like 255, 300, whatever the count for blanket's going to be. So, I did successfully complete this and make it look the way I needed it to look. It just doesn't read well. So, partial success. You can see the tail, and I have placed Derpy over there in the corner. He's large, takes up a lot of space. He is heavy as hell. Yeah. I'm in like a state now because I've completed, I finished all the stuff with this yarn. I went through those 4 skeins I got for Derpy in like 4 hours, maybe, if that. Like, And I just, like, I have things I could do, but I do not have things I want to do. Does that make sense? Like, I have, my mom asked, she's like, well, what do you have that you need to finish? My answer to that was, I have this, which I don't want to work on right now. I have the leaf garland curtain that I started making for my closet door. I don't want to work on that right now either. And then I have Derpy. And I do believe, oh, and I have a shirt that I started that I'm gonna frog, and I've already decided that. So, like, I think that's all my whips. I could be wrong, but I think that's all my whips. I don't have anything else that I'm like super stoked to work on right now. But I want to work on something, but I don't like making things just to make them. I like making things I want to make. Do you feel I'm in a very unhelpful, unproductive position? So I don't have an answer. I just threw that yarn on the floor and not at all where it needs to be. I did order buttons. I don't know if I mentioned that in my last clip. I have ordered buttons for the butterfly cardigan. So there's that. Yeah, I don't know. I'm just, like, I might pull out the last of the 2 Caron anniversary cakes that I have from a couple years ago. It's the purple one. I think it's called Hocus Crocus. I don't know if they put that colorway out again this year. But I think I'm going to do Alpine stitch with those. The only reason I didn't pull it out is I did that basket, and I did the hat, and then I did Derpy. And of those 3, the smallest one is the hat, which was still double stranding with a 6mm hook. And it just, like, anything above a 5 consistently hurts my hand. So I don't know if I really want to do a whole blanket with, that'll probably be the 8mm, which means it's not even one of my BWA hooks. It's a hook I took out of my mom's collection, and it's a metal one with like the polymer clay handle that you get on Amazon, and it's set at like 12 for $5. So, you know, super high quality. On the other hand, I do have a kitty cat. Say hello. Say hello. It's just sitting on the floor, hanging out, being a doofus. Are you a doof? Yeah? Alright, hello. It is December 1st. I plan to follow along with Complicated Knots 12 Days of Crochet. So this year she is making Mischief Gang. I know the raccoon is going to be one of the animals. The video comes out in 2 minutes, so my plan is I'm going to watch the video, I'm going to make the thing, and then I'll be back to show you the thing. I should also be getting my buttons for my butterfly cardigan today, and I can show you what I have done. In case you're wondering how big this basket turned out, it's roughly the size of 1 Caron anniversary cake. And I have started with the Alpine stitch on this blanket. I love the texture of the Alpine stitch, which is why I really wanted, why this is my 3rd attempt to make an Alpine stitch blanket. So yeah, I really like how it looks. It is like blocking a little bit, but I don't want to. there's not much I can do about that. I don't know what else I would do with this yarn anyway, so that's what it's going to be. Right, I have finished day 1 of the 12 days of crochet. The answer for day 1, the clue was these creatures plant millions of trees accidentally or unintentionally every year. The answer, specifically CK did a red squirrel. I did a gray squirrel for 2 reasons. 1, from northern Wisconsin, it's the most common squirrel I saw. And 2, I have so much gray yarn because I bought, like, I have like 7 shades of gray because I made a latch hook rug of the moon, insert picture here. So I have lots of gray yarn. But here's my friend. His head's a little crooked. I think I put his eyes in crooked. I tried really hard not to. Safety Eyes and I are still on a learning curve. Hey. He's got a little white belly. I think I might have overstuffed him a little. Also, working on that. But yeah, it's my little squirrel friend. Squirrel friend. And he does just sit. So sweet and nice. So that is how that went for today. I will see you all tomorrow. Probably later today. It depends on when my buttons show up. I haven't gotten out for delivery yet, so probably see you tomorrow. Alright. It is later than I would like it to be, but earlier than it could have been as far as Amazon goes. So, moral of the story is I got things. I got 2 things. I will show you the second thing first. I got yarn. This is the Red Heart Quilt Motif all-in-one, and the reason I got this one is because the squares it makes are corner-to-corner crochet, which is something I want to learn how to do. Just to open up my options on ways to make things. The other thing I wanted to learn how to do, and I think I showed you guys this already, was overlay mosaic crochet. I did go in, I weaved in all the ends, and I did go in with a marker to just kind of create a drop shadow so that the white and the gray don't bleed together. I don't know what I'm going to do with this. I'll hang it up somewhere probably, but this is a much more manageable project to tackle. I don't know what that was. This is a much more manageable project to tackle than a queen size blanket. There's that. And then I got 6 of these, so 2 of these bags. It says each one of these makes 5. So I'll get around to that eventually. The other thing I got was buttons for the butterfly cup. There goes the sun. And these are the buttons. They're resin. They're off Amazon. They are what they are, okay? But I do think they're going to go quite nice on our butterfly cardigan. And then I have here, this is extra strong nylon upholstery thread because we are having 0 chances. So I'm going to go ahead and sew that on, and then I will continue working on the Alpine blanket. We are, I mean, it's already, like, once it steams and it sits like this, I think it's going to be a decent size. This is what's left of the skein. So that's that. Anything else? I do not think so. I'm going to sew these buttons on. see the final product soon. All right. I had grand, fantastic plans to up my game, to film outside a nice reveal of the cardigan. It's wet, it's humid, the dew point is like 73 degrees Fahrenheit. I'm not wearing a cardigan outside right now. So, you get my chaotic, shitty room, like always. Deal. Be mad at the weather, not at me. I did get the buttons sewn on. I could, like, go in and tighten the buttonholes themselves, but this is what she looks like. Go ahead and back up. So as you can see, I got my buttons. I do have this side safety pinned down. I will steam it so it actually just sits like this. Complaints I have. These are personal issues. This is not an issue with the pattern. It's not an issue with the final product. This is an issue with me. This is my elbow, which means all of this is in my armpit, which is just a little bulky for me, personally. When I lift my arms up and then like put my arms back down, these can ride up and sometimes they'll pull my shirt up with it. Don't care for that. And then the last thing is that it's like, it's t-shirt length, which means it hits me like crotch level. And I like my cardigans to be like over the butt length. But to make this strip of 3 rows any bigger would have just meant more of this. All of that being said, those are nitpicks. I'll get over it. I don't really think you can fix the armpit thing without changing the fundamental design of the butterfly shape. So that's just a suck it up. It's just like, let's do this. This is like the armpit. There's my armpit. So there's just a lot. It's fine. I wanted to make it. It's cute as hell. I will wear it. It's just like when I do this, if I go for T-Rex arms, like my elbow's in the sleeve still, because the sleeve is huge. And I do believe I showed you these, but we've got, like, it's December. Is this not the cutest little, if I lived somewhere where the dew point wasn't 73, it wasn't 80 outside, is this not the cutest little winter getup ever? I feel adorable. And that's all that matters. So that's this update. I am not going to wear these, though, because it's freaking warm. I might live in Southwest Florida, but my brain still thinks I live in Wisconsin, and it's like, winter. And I go outside, and I'm like, this is not winter. Update number 2 is day 2 of the 12 days of crochet. Is this little friend. Is a raccoon. And he is not size appropriate to our squirrel friend, but here's our squirrel friend. They are ready for all sorts of mischief. I will, when I am done on day 12, I will include a picture because I'm putting them all up on a dollhouse that I have like painted and remade and lit up to look like a spooky haunted house. But this is day 2. He's a cute little friend, and he is ready for all of the mischief. Boop. Stick these back on my house. And then my final update is on the blanket. So, as I mentioned, I also made this basket with the yarn left over from the cardigan. And inside the basket is an entire Caron anniversary cake, which is now tied on to this big bad boy. I need y'all to look this way. That is what I need, because this is where I want to stand. So, when I finished the first cake, I measured this. It was exactly 36 inches long, which means I'm going to make that 5 feet tall, and then I'm going to use the extra to add a little bit of a border, just because, if I can show you here, on the bottom, just because of the way the Alpine stitch is, you see how it rolls? I'm just hoping if I can get a little bit of a border on it, it'll help with that. I mean, just having weight has helped a lot. And I'm happy. I'm super happy with this. I think it's really cute. It's very warm. So there's that. There is definitely like some blocking happening. It's inevitable. I'm over it. I want an Alpine stitch blanket. I like the way this one looks. It's good enough. It's going to be good enough because I don't want to deal with what I ended up doing for like my ripple sweater, where it's like you got a stripe, multiple colors, and I don't want. So I'm not going. But that is the update for today. By the way, this hat, so warm, so comfy. Yesterday, I was just in here with this on my head because I shaved my hair and my head's cold. All right, hello everyone. I have some updates. I do have the day 3 and day 4 amigurumis to show you from the 12 days of crochet, but before I do that, I finished an Alpine blanket. Fuck off, son. It is slightly over 5 feet long. Here's my beef with the Caron anniversary cakes. It's 1,000 yards of yarn. There are gonna be knots. Can we make them less shitty knots, please? Because I just cut them fuckers out and redo my own so I can weave in the ends. And I had an issue where I had to ball up the cake because it just failed structurally. And I cut out a knot, so I had 2 balls left yesterday. And I finished the 1 ball, and then I measured this. And it was exactly 60 inches. The other ball, I was looking at it, I'm like, that's a little bit much for just the border. So I had 3 rows of the double crochet pattern, and then we have 3 rows of single crochet all the way around. And if I lift up the bottom here, all the way in frame, it's still a little curly, but not like it was before. So this and the ripple, like polar fleece thing I made, are all gonna get a hot vinegar bath and a trip through the washer and dryer, and then they'll be done. I'm very short in this chair. Let's come down here. Hi friends, how are you? Day 3 was a raven. He's very cute. He's got little flappers. And yeah, very cute. Day 4 for the 12 days of crochet was a walrus. And you can kind of see it here. But the way my tension is for these tusks, they ended up very curly. So I unbent a paper clip, bent it into a shaple stape, pushed it in through his nose and down here. So now if I wanted to, I can bend these. but just so they stay straight. Honestly, this one so far has been the most fun to make. The squirrel wasn't bad. The raccoon made me want to cry. And this guy was fine until you get to where the ruffles are, and then these wings are worked entirely like at once in one row, and then they're just there. Making the wings wasn't the problem. Them being there for the rest of him was the problem. But he did turn out very cute. So there's that. I also went to Walmart today. We have more yarn to finish the tail. And I got this thing, which is a tablet clamp. But it's also so sturdy, I can just use it as like a stand to hold up my phone. I'm so excited. Because when I was doing the butterfly cardigan, sometimes I sit here, this is my desk, and sometimes I like to sit in the bean bag, watch things on the big TV. It's nice. And I didn't have a stand to fold open my phone to put it on so I could look at the graph. It was very frustrating. So now I have a stand. I am happy. What else? What else? I think that's everything for right now. I just finished this blanket. I'm going to go make the gross, stinky bath. And the reason why I put it in the vinegar bath, if anybody's wondering, is because vinegar is an excellent cleaner. So if there's any gross hand oils, dead skin, cat spit, because my one cat drools like, oh my gosh, or if there's just like residue on it from traveling to the store or being in storage, whatever. The variegated yarn I used to make the polar fleece is specifically what I'm talking about here. It was gross. It's like sticky. It needs to be cleaned. The other reason is it works as a cheap fabric softener, and part of the reason it works as a good fabric softener is because it clears residue out of the yarn. But I like it as a fabric softener because it's vinegar. You know what's in vinegar? It's vinegar. I know what's in it. I know it's not going to like destroy the acrylic yarn I choose to use or any of that. So that's why I use vinegar. The heat I use to relax and quote unquote kill the acrylic fiber, which makes it, it's what steaming does. It's nice. It makes it loose. It makes it flowy. And it doesn't have to be steamed. It just has to be hot enough to relax it without melting it. There's a magic window there. So I usually do that. I'll chuck it in there. Honestly, for a couple hours. You could do it overnight. Depends on what you do and what your timetable is. But I'll put it in there, and then it's 12:30. I'll go eat lunch. Maybe finish the tail, and then I'll take it out and chuck it in the wash. Run it through a normal wash cycle. Run it. Usually when I run it through the wash cycle, I make sure it's on warm hot or hot. Hot as far as my Samsung washer goes. It's not a Samsung, is it? Is it a Samsung? I know it's not the same as our fridge, because our fridge is a Frigidaire, and we do not have a Frigidaire washer. All I know is it's not LG. So whatever it's got like hot, warm, cold, and then tap cold are the settings. So I usually do warm, hot, or hot. And then do it through the dryer. And on the dryer, you want it on like, mine has, I think, 4 settings. So I usually do it on the 2 lower settings. It's dryer. Dryer is where things die. And not a good dye, a bad dye. So that's the plan. Ooh. That's where we're at. But I went to even my hair out this morning. Got to put the clipper guard on. Now I'm bald, which I can deal with. I've done it before. I'll probably do it again, but I didn't plan on being bald today, and I'm crabby about it. So there's that. Today has been an avalanche of minor, and nobody's dying. Nothing truly terrible has happened. But by God, when the moon calmed down, I have done nothing to you, sweetheart. I love you. Please leave me the fuck alone. For day 5, because that's what it is, the 5th of December, the friend we got was a fox. He's very bright because I just picked out an orange that I had in my like caked up, mostly used skeins, and it was a skein of orange bright, and yo-ho, like, whoo, it can glow against me. My black tank top, right? But yeah, it was quite a little adventure, a little drama, a little concern that perhaps his face wasn't going to work out, but it worked out. Just I put the eyeballs in and I lost it because look at him. He's so cute. I just want to be your friend. That's what his face is. He's a friend. The other thing I've done since I finished this and I washed it, and like, look at how nice and just flat that way. Cinder's already made biscuits on it. It's cat proof, really good. There's that. I washed that butterfly cardigan, and like now, without even stretching it, the cuffs fall all the way down to my knuckles here. Beautiful. This I've made 1.5 squares. Oh, I don't hate it. I mean, here, I can show you for sure. It's like, it'd be 10 times better if this yellow was purple, first of all. I don't know that I super care for the texture. And that could just be I have had a day of minor inconveniences and I'm not in the best headspace kind of situation. Because I did this one last night and I was like, it's okay. And then, it's far on this one and I'm just like looking at it and I'm like, I don't know if this is what I want to be doing right now. What I want to be doing right now is what I did this test for, which is a big old blanket. So, since I haven't fully committed, I have 6 of these. In each of these, I believe it says here, each of these makes 5. So I can get 30 squares. And I chose that because I was like thinking I might make a blanket out of it, but now I'm thinking, you know how I want to make a chair? Pillow? Add to my pile that I lounge in now. These are decent. When I was thinking of the project for the granny squares, I was thinking like little, like 4-inch squares, like the skulls. But this is What you got here? 10? 10 by 10? 30 of these. The thing is, I have zero, I mean no stuffing right now. Derpy has a tail and eyes and a nose now, but he doesn't have a mouth. So you'll see him when I figure that out. But, Derpy took all the stuffing. And, like, for these guys, I have been, like, my mom just also finished a blanket last night, so she gave me her scraps from that. And I'm like, ooh, yay, I'll have stuffing. So that's what, he's not even stuffed with my scraps, he's stuffed with my mom's scraps. So that's the situation with stuffing. So, like, if I do this, I will have to purchase stuffing. That's my thought for that, but I don't, it's not, here's the thing, it's not hard. It's not hard. I watched one tutorial on how to do the increases and how to do the decreases, because here's the thing. First of all, in this chart, supposedly, on light, supposedly there's 4 colors, and like I can barely see it, and I can only see it on the camera as I'm holding it at this angle. But here's a fun thing about me. I do not picture 3D space well. Also because I don't picture anything ever, period. Like, just, you know. But like, you know, when you'd be in school, you have to do like standardized tests. Fuck you, George W. Bush. Bullshit. Those standardized tests, and there'd be like a section, and it's like little Tetris blocks, and it's like, what would this look like if you rotated it 108? No. Unless I physically have it in front of me and can pick it up and turn it around. No. So, written instructions like that, not super helpful for me. Helpful in the, like, rows 1 to 4 should be this color, rows 5 to 7 should be the next color. That part, very helpful, thank you. But, just reading directions, something about it is just, like, my brain is like, I read it, and I read the words, and my brain is just, it's like the teachers in the Peanuts. Nothing, I got nothing out of that. If I watch someone do it, or I can actually, like, be told and do it myself, then I'm good. So, not hard. I don't mind doing it. I just don't, not sold on that. Because, you kind of see, like, it's like, this one's forward, this one's back, this one's forward. I don't know how I feel about that yet. And when I started crocheting, and I made, drop you guys down, you can see it. When I made this blanket, it was like the second thing I ever made. And I was very much in I don't want there to be holes in my projects. I want to be making a fabric thing. You feel? And now, I mean, I have like a dozen granny square cardigan, sweater, various kind of projects. Like, I have come to understand that what I wanted when I started crocheting was a knit project, and I have tried to knit before. That involves using both of my hands, and the lefty here tries real damn hard, but lefty is not helping anybody with anything. I can do a lot of things with my left hand. I can eat with my left hand. I can, like, read flip a book with my left hand. I can type on my phone with. I cannot not do whatever I need to be doing while I'm knitting with both of my. And it. I know it's like if I kept practicing muscle memory thing, I would get it, and I might. I might try knitting again at one point. But right now, not that time. So my point is, I might just need to sit with this for a little bit and look at it for a little bit and get over it. Um, so that's what we're gonna do. We're just put that to one side. I am gonna finish the square so I can cut it off and not have to worry about it. But I'm just keeping all of these in this because I'm gonna make a basket. You might as well use it. Okay, that's today's update. I think I don't remember if I told you guys the clues. The clue for the walrus was that it needed a specially crafted couch because it was destroying thousands of dollars of property. And then for today, the clue was these creatures are being included mostly based on vibes, not on specific incidents. But also they scream and they sound like people, which, facts, they do that. Foxes do, in fact, be out there screaming. So that's that. And then the clue for tomorrow is that these creatures have been known to turn off electricity to get food and to memorize security guards' patterns. To me, that's an octopus. So I'm expecting an octopus for tomorrow. We shall see. I'm gonna finish the square, and then I think I'm gonna go get the mosaic blanket, and then I'll show you guys what that is. Good morning. I present to you on this Saturday one octopus. He's adorable. His name is Merlot because that's the color of yarn I use. He's very stable. And he's just a little cutie pie. Boop. All right, good morning, everyone. I just showed you the octopus. Went outside, did a couple things, came back inside. Now we're gonna work on this mosaic crochet blanket. I did get started last night. I chained, or rather, I did the foundation row. So I did foundation single crochets instead of chaining, and chain because I hate it. But I'll show you why I want to work on this one. I feel like it's very seasonally appropriate. So it's like little Christmas trees. And my mom bought this for me before I learned how to crochet, and she was just gonna make it for me. But fuck it. Let's do it ourselves. Let's do it our damn selves. So in the picture on the front that I just showed you, that is 7 repeats wide, but the instructions here say that the kit comes with enough yarn to make the blanket 8 repeats wide, and then there's 6 patterns, and you repeat that twice. And it'll give you a blanket that is 63 inches, which is 5 feet and 3 inches, by 48 inches, which is 4 feet. That's a decent sized blanket. I don't know why I'm in blanket mood. I'm gonna say it's December, and my brain, my Irish German soul, is like, it is time for soup. It is time for blankets. It is time for nice hearty meals, bread, potatoes, gravy, all the good things. It is that time. I made chicken and dumplings last night. Stellar decision. Great life choices. So I'm gonna get started on this. I have to do 3 foundation rows before I can even begin the patterns. And I haven't cut this off yet, just in case I couldn't count last night. That is always a consideration. But yeah, I'm just gonna put on some YouTube, turn on my light, and we're just gonna cruise. Just want to chill and work on this blanket today. I think we can do that. Hello, it is Sunday, December 7th. Two things. One, still dealing with my head situation. So I'm gonna make myself a different hat because I didn't make this one. I bought this one, and I also have this one, which I didn't make either. My head's cold, guys, and they're fine. But I had this Eddie Bauer knit beanie, so like it wasn't hand knit, it was machine knit, but like it was a nice slouchy beanie, and I just liked the way it fit. And it got ruined, and I had to throw it away. And I looked on their website, and like they do have beanies still, but they're all lined because it's like outdoor stuff. And they're like, yeah, I'm like, I live in Florida, I don't need a lined hat. I just want something on my head because I don't got no hair right now. So I'm gonna make a beanie. I'm gonna make a beanie using scraps, and we're gonna see what happens. But I also have another friend to show you. So today, what was the clue? Today's clue was this creature has its own indie game about it where it gets to terrorize a small town. And if you're chronically online like I am, you knew the answer. It's my it's my goose friend. Not one I had fun making. Not that I have fun making most of them. The squirrel wasn't too bad. The octopus wasn't too bad from yesterday. But he did not want to cooperate with me. He is freaking adorable. The other thing is his head, like his eyes are off center because otherwise the stems were like I couldn't get the other eye in because the stems were hitting the end of each other. So his eyes are a little off center. He does have just like the cutest little butt. But yeah, we're over halfway. This is number 7. So that's that update. But I'm gonna make a hat and then I'll get back to the blanket. Hello, how is everyone doing? I am tired, but that's relevant. I made a hat. I really like this hat. I am not the only person who likes this hat. My brother. And let me explain to you something. I have a small head. Like, I have to buy goggles to swim in the kids section. Small head. My brother is on the complete other end of this spectrum. Most hats don't fit him. Most baseball cap, trucker cap hats don't fit him. Even the we make them bigger for big heads don't fit him. Okay? The kid's got a big head. This hat, which is like big and slouchy on me, he can put on and have it sit, like this, and it fits him. So I'm making another one. He likes green, and I have the green yarn. This is Yarn Bee Soft and Sleek DK. It's acrylic. These are all scraps, so who knows what they are. But this is acrylic. It's so soft. It's so soft. So I just finished making the head portion, and now I'm going to do the ribbing. And he also wants black ribbing. And I happen to also have this yarn in black. So there's that. But before I get to that, I also wanted to show you this guy. He is a rat. He is my new favorite of the 12 days. So, yes. And this is probably the closest I will ever get to actually owning a rat or a mouse. I really like them. My mom does not. Also, I have cats. So, he's adorable. So, yeah. I'm gonna finish this hat for my brother. And then 50-50 chance I'm either gonna go work on the blanket or I'm gonna make myself another hat. And I will put a link in the description to the pattern that I started this hat off of. So that's why I have this here. I follow the pattern I'll link until row 8, which is where this is. And then this is just 20 rows of half double crochets. And then I'm going to do back loop only single crochet ribbing without skipping anything. So this is still nice and loose and stretchy. And it's also long, so I can fold it back the way I want. So we're going to do that. All right. Hello. I have made a second hat. This one, it stretches out quite nice. I don't know if it's going to fit quite like this one does. So this is what this one looks like. And the thing about this one is, I don't know if you can tell, but scrap yarn. So this top one, and then this second one, which is the only yarn in here I can identify. It's the Big Twist Living. And I believe the Ace one is called Authenticity. But this gray and the Big Twist Living are on the thicker end, whereas these are all slightly thinner. And this yarn is like this thickness, so this cap part was a little shorter. If I hold them up next to each other, they're going to look wildly different, but I promise you, mine's just stretched out. And if I were to put this on, that's a little tight. Oh, it'll stretch. She'll stretch. There we go. So it's not quite as baggy as mine is. But I do think it will fit my brother's head. So that's the important part. And if it doesn't, I'll make him another one. Because we have that power. I did end up, when I got to the ribbing, turning this inside out because I think that looks better than that. Like, it's minor, and it's specifically where the black and green join, and truly, it doesn't matter, because the cuff should be rolled up. But we made a hat. I'm putting this back on my head. And technically, this one's one row longer, even though it doesn't look it. But I do think this yarn will stretch out quite a bit. And my brother's a sweaty person, so it'll get washed, which will also help. Some people sweat a lot. I'm not one of them. Both of the family members I live with are. But that's that. I do think I'm going to go work on the blanket. But I think if I make another hat, I'm going to double strand these because I think it look really cute. But at the moment, not feeling it. I have accomplished what I was asked to accomplish, and I made a hat. Hopefully it fits. Hopefully it fits and I don't have to undo the ribbing, because that just took me like 2 hours. So I don't want to do that part again. I went and sat in the hole with, there's this light, and then there's another light like right here that I have clipped up there. And this one is the like, I'm doing ribbing in black yarn light. Plus I have, you know, the window. So I'm really happy with this. I wasn't entirely sure, because this is like heathered and this is solid, if it was going to look good together. but it does. And again, I'm happy. Now, we hope the brother is happy, because that is the true key. Hello, everyone. If you can't tell by my headwear, this didn't fit my brother, so we're going to have to make another one. I'm going to increase the size to 70 half double crochets around, and I'm going to use the black I used on this hat because it's much stretchier than this stuff is. So, there's that. For day 9, I present our chameleon friend. I did break out my big twist of variegated yarn just for this guy. I don't really like chameleons, if I'm going to be honest. I think they're a little creepy. Their eyes freak me out. Don't like them. But this guy did turn out pretty cute. So yeah, that's day 9. I used this. I don't know if it's even viable anymore. I got it at Joann's, so I know Big Twist value's back. I just don't know if this particular color's back. This is lime jelly. In case anybody cares to know. I'm gonna go make my brother a hat again. Hello everyone, coming in to update you with the last 3 days of Crochetmas. I'm sorry if the camera gets a little funky, it is not liking the lights. For day 10, we had a goat friend. Naturally, he's on the roof, because where else would a goat friend be? And then days 10 and or 11 and 12 are both together. We had a bear and an elephant. So they are hanging out down here on the porch with Mr. Goose. And wow, this camera really does not like these lights. I'm going to turn this off. So a thing happened. Not a thing I wanted to happen, or a thing I was planning on happening, but it happened. I did not get hurt. Nothing important got broken, except the obvious. I'm dealing. Perhaps not well, but I am dealing. As it were, I have not had the mental capacity to work on this very much. Like, I had to rip out half of it last night because I missed one stitch. Triangles, when they're off center, very noticeable. So I have one more row to do, and I will be back to where I had gotten originally. But it's going to be decent sized. I just don't know that it'll be done in this video. Also, January's video is probably me going to be setting up the replacement loft and rearranging my room. Not my usual content, but it's what you're going to get. I don't want to work on that blanket. That requires thought. I have to look and follow the chart and count and think, I don't have that in me right now. So I'm going to make myself another hat with this. That's black. Yeah. I'm trying to stay focused on the positives. You know, I did not get hurt. Nothing important got broken. But oh my God, I've had a month. My chair broke. I accidentally shaved my head. The loft broke. And then this morning, while I was putting away laundry, one of my laundry baskets broke. So I am hanging on by a thread. Funny, haha, because I do fiber arts. All right. Hello, everyone. As you can see, I finished this rainbow hat. I used a decent amount of the thread, I'm not gonna lie, but I do love the way it turned out. It reminds me of that purple, there we go, that purple yarn that I used to make that tank top. This is what I have left of the thread. So, used probably over half of it. But I got that done yesterday, I did end up taking my desk out of here. This place is a fucking mess, as you can see. But that light sitting on one of my speakers, and then there's the other speaker. So I'm gonna get that stuff set up by the TV. Also, I really need hand. I need to finish this. The handle's not on, and like, I gotta paint all the squiggles. They're all just white yet. But I am very good at getting 75% of the way through a project and being like, I don't want to do this anymore. So those are my 2 goals, probably for the rest of this weekend, is to move my speakers and paint that drawer. Not my usual stuff I'm showing you guys about, but it is what it is, because it's what I gotta work with. Yeah, I will update you when I feel it's necessary. Alright, hello everyone. I actually tried to film this clip yesterday, but the sun was being a menace, so we back. I have 2 things. First and foremost, I had a phone call with my friend over the weekend, or a video call, I guess, be more appropriate, and showed her all my 12 days of crochet stuff, and she requested a few for her. So we have this lovely teal octopus, and just a reminder, this is my original, in Merlot. This is Merlot, because it's a good name and a pretty color. But teal octopus. And then she also requested a little blonde rat friend. And if you're looking at that going, that's white. No, this is white. The rat is blonde. So, rat. And then her partner requested a raccoon, which I did. But this is my original raccoon. And this is the raccoon I made yesterday. Ah, they stack. I know they stack. There we go. No, I don't know why this one's so much smaller. But this is so small. Too small. It requires parental supervision. So I also made the bigger raccoon pattern that Complicated Knots has put out. So I will be sending these to my friends on the other side of the country soon. And then the other thing I've done is I started this, which is supposed to be the base for a hexagon cardigan. And I'm using V-stitch. And this is Red Heart Bitty Stripes in Sunset Beach. Now, as I was doing this, I'm like, it's a little off kilter, but I just figured it was the stitch. It was not. I don't know what I did. I'm gonna have to sit here and figure it out. But 4 of the sides are 31 stitches long. One of the sides is 29 stitches long, and the other one is 30 stitches long. And I don't know what the fuck happened. But that ain't working for me. That's not how this goes. So I have to figure out where the problem is and then get back there and then fix it. But figured I'd just inform you all of the project before I undo the. I found the problem. It was in row 3. So now, instead of being ready to do the shoulder, I have a sock that might fit my cat. We'll get back there. But yeah. The problem was, instead of doing a V-stitch in the corner, I just did one of the double crochets and I moved on to the next V-stitch, which is fine as far as the corner is concerned, but then you lose that space to do one on the side. So clearly I did that twice on one of the sides, and I did it once in row 3 on this side. We'll have to be paying more attention. It's less of a problem with granny squares, because you're working in between them. So like if you fuck it up, you're working in between them. But in this one, I'm working into the V. So I require the V. But I do think it's going to turn out really cute. When it's this small, it gives tie-dye. And you lose that a little bit as it gets bigger, but I still think it looks fine. I'm going to get... This is the ball. And then there's like all this mess that's on my bed because there was a knot that I cut because it was a shitty knot. But I was almost done with this game. Almost done with this game. And now we're on row. I'm done whining. I'm going to go get back to row 15. So this was going to be in the January video because I was expecting to get this on Tuesday, which is the 23rd. But my loft is here. So we're going to see what we can get done today. everyone. Welcome to the new space. I know some of the like time-lapse footage, especially like the later stuff when I'm trying to work under here, might not be the best. I'm sure I've pointed it out in the video, so I hit my head. If you don't want to see a close-up, now is the time to look away. It hurts. It's swollen. I will live, but not how I needed to start yesterday. We have, let's see, I have my old table over there with the record player. Got the bear underneath, my beanbags on the other side. If we tilt even further down, you can see my pumpkin, and somebody is sleeping in there. But yeah, let's see if I can. So off to this side, I've got all my pens and my collection of skincare products because eczema hands are the worst. So yeah, that's that side. And then on this side, I have my clock, all my veil guard stuff, and then I have some friends over here hanging out. Derpy still doesn't have a mouth. I'm getting there, guys. The loft thing derailed a lot. And then I don't know if you can see it right there is the haunted house. So yeah, that's how all of that turned out. If I can spin all the way around, the loft itself came with these like LED lights. But yeah, and then there's like a thing back here that I have stuff hung on, like my practice sampler to figure out how to do mosaic crochet. Sorry about all of that janky footage. And then these did not come with this, but when one has the chance to put the sparkle knobs on, one must take it. Also, bonus of a metal bed is magnetic, so that's gonna be nice. What else? I think that's about it for under here anyway, that I can show you. I want that sticker come off of there. I don't need to know what number that piece is anymore. Yeah. I mean, there's definitely going to be, like, fiddling with stuff a lot. And as far as in here, it's blankets. Underneath there are all of my, like, fabric blankets, I guess. And then, oh, I can't show you inside the store. I've got my hexagon blanket and that one that I made. And then the other two blankets that are in here, my mom made for me. So there's that. It is, despite the fact that the camera is picking everything up quite well, pretty dark under here. I do have some more lights. And then the other thing is, like, I feel like I need to be back here because the desk is very shallow. So, like, I'm up in my monitors, like, really close. And it's just gonna take some getting used to. Some adjusting, you know? But, yeah. It's the 20th. I don't know how much more I'm gonna really have the energy to do this month. I can give you an update on this because I found it. I am the kind of person where it's like, let me put this here because it's a weird spot. I won't forget it because it's a weird spot. No, don't do that shit. Don't do that shit to yourself. It's rude. This is still the first skein of this, but I have attached at the shoulder. And now I'm just making the body bigger. I do really like how the V-stitch is working out. I love the, like, zigzag vibe, but that's that. My absolutely fantastic stellar luck continues. went to the hardware store to get stuff to deal with wild rodents, and the rodents dealt with my car. I've not had a good... Something without fail. Between November and January, bad shit will happen in my life. Every fucking year. And I started November, and I was in a good mood, and shit was going good, and it just... I digress. I would like to frog something, but in order to frog it, I would like to show you first. I'm going to turn a light on back here. Woo! Say hello to my face. Alright. Do we remember? Excuse me. We remember this. And you see how it's like not quite right? Hexagon cardigan shape-wise. I just figured it was the V-stitch and whatever, and we'd get past it. But no. No, this is the problem. I am the problem. Because we can, in fact, get one that's just nice and square. There it goes. It's still small, so it's not very agreeable yet, but... And then I can show you exactly what I did on this tiny little sample here. So, we're gonna focus. There we go. You've got the magic ring in the middle here. I did a row of single crochet, and then I did 6 V-stitches. And then, if we come right here, you've got this is a V-stitch. Let me try again. This is a V-stitch. This is a V-stitch. I worked a corner, a side, and a corner. On this one, if we get up close, I don't know how well you can see here, but I only worked corners, and then when I get to this yellow row, you've got a corner, side 1, side 2, and then a corner. And this makes a much nicer square, or it will once it's bigger. It's still small and grumpy, but I promise you this looks better. Hello everyone. I just wanted to check in one more time before I finish off this video because it's the last one of the year. A couple quick things before we wrap up the year. I am calmer than I was yesterday. I was a little stressed yesterday. It's been December, man. It's been December. But I did I have one project that I have finished that I would like to show you, and I have one that's in progress. And they're kind of related because it's for my friend and her partner. Different friend and partner than the one I made the octopus, rat, and raccoons for. So I bought something for her. I have previously made something for this friend. It was the Zubat sweater, which I think is like the 2nd or 3rd channel video on this channel. And I bring that up because I made another Zubat. This one in particular is a dice bag. So we flap back his mouth here. You can see there's kind of a little loop there. And then if I pop it open on this side, there's a button. And can fit like 3 or 4 sets of D&D dice into this friend. He's just a goofy little guy, and I love him. He has so much more personality than I thought he would when I went to make him. And on the topic of practical or useful Pokemon items, I am making her partner a scarf. And now, if everybody's done guessing what this tube will be, it's for Dragonair. So this is the actual scarf part, but as you can see, it's just barely big enough to get around my neck. So I am making it as a tube because they live in the places that actually have winter and not Florida. So actually a warm scarf required. But that I need to make this whole tube 3 feet long before I can make it into an actual Pokemon at minimum. So there's that. I did not get any farther on the corners or the mosaic blanket because of the loft situation. Kind of derailed me, and I will get back to it, but not been the priority right now. Probably finish this. Might work on that V-stitch cardigan, but having to restart it now for the 3rd time, I'm also not feeling super motivated. I will get back to it. It's just need some time to step back and recharge. But yeah, I just wanted to say, since this is, at least according to the metrics YouTube is counting by, the end of my first year on YouTube, and I just wanted to say thank you to everyone for joining me, for commenting, for liking, for subscribing, and I'm super grateful that anybody wants to listen to me ramble about the things I'm making. I appreciate all of you, and I just wanted to say thank you and have a happy new year, and I will see you all in January of 2026. Bye.